it. Right. Hope you are able to see the presentation. So we'll start our session. Yesterday we are dealing about, just recollect, started dealing about oxides. In these oxides, we have discussed about four types. One is acidic oxide, next one is basic oxide, next one is amphoteric oxides, next one is neutral oxides. Can you use examples for neutral oxides? Examples for neutral oxides.
Water.
Water. I didn't give example for water. CO, NO, N2O. These are examples for neutral oxide. Can you give some example for students are still joining now? Can you use examples for amphoteric oxide? ZNO,
AL2O3.
Al2O, TBO, SNO. These are all few different examples which we have given. Now here we have studied about in period what will happen to acidic nature. In a period, what will happen to acidic nature?
Increases.
If the answer increases, correct. In a period, acidic nature increases. In a group,
Decreases.
good, acidic nature decreases. Now I'll try to write about two examples, same which is more acidic in nature. Is more acidic in this both now. N2O5, P2O5. Answer first. This is more acidic than P2O5. Why? Because these both belong to same group: nitrogen, phosphorus, arsenic, antimony, bismuth. We know from top to bottom, acidic nature decreases. Acidic nature of oxides decreases. So this will be more acidic than this. I'll write one more example. SO2, SiO2, TiO2. Which will be more acidic here? Which will be more acidic? Answer fast. If you answer, I can proceed.
SO2, sir.
Sir, we don't SO2. Why? Because these all belong to 16 groups. Sulfur, selenium, tellurium, polonium. SO2 will be more acidic. Which will be more basic? Which will be more basic? Which will be more basic? TiO2 will be more basic. In a group, acidic nature decreases, basic nature increases. Basic nature increases. Any doubt in this? In a period, acidic nature increases, basic nature decreases. This case is for both. I have explained. These both are for oxides and hydroxides. Oxides and hydroxides. Any doubt in this part? If you don't have doubt,
No,
I'll.
sir.
No, sir.
Okay. Yesterday I have given these examples. You can read those examples, study those examples. Now, afterwards, I have said about there are two different types of acids. There are two different types of acids. One type of acids are called as oxoacids. Acids are nothing but which can donate hydrogen, or else we'll say instead of hydrogen, we'll say proton. H plus monar is called as acid. You have studied in your standard Arrhenius. There are two types of acids, oxoacids and hydroacids. Oxoacids means these acids contain oxygen. They have oxygen. Hydroacids, they don't have oxygen. Now, suppose if I write H2SO4 and H2SO3, can you say the name of this acid? Name of this acid.
Sulfuric acid.
What is the name of this? Sulfurous acid. This is sulfurous acid. Now, which will be more acidic? In these both, which will be more acidic? A or B? Which will be more acidic? How to calculate? How to calculate? Calculate its oxygen state. Here oxygen state will be +6. Here oxygen state will be +4. The oxoacid which is having more oxoacid which has high oxidation state will be more acidic, will be more acidic. Any doubts here? This also I've explained yesterday. Yes?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Next, this part I have explained yesterday. Now we will we'll study about hydroacids. See, examples hydroacids of example is HCl, HBr, HF, HCl, HBr. Next one is called as H. These are called as hydroacids. You are very familiar with HCl, hydrochloric acid. These are called as hydroacids. These are acids. Why? Because they can give hydrogen. They can give hydrogen. It dissociates, it gives H plus Cl minus. But they don't have oxygen. These have oxygen. Even though this is H2SO4. H2SO4. When it dissociates, it gives 2H plus SO4 minus 2. They will give H plus, also will give H plus. As these acids have oxygen in them, oxoacids, these acids does not have oxygen. These are called as hydroacids. Now we'll see about strength of these hydroacids. Which one will be more acidic in nature? Which one will be more acidic in nature? HA will be more acidic in nature. Which is more acidic in nature? HA will be more acidic in nature. Can I take new page, children? I'll explain this in the new page.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. We are studying about hydroacids. When you take about hydroacids, it will be little tricky, man. In a period, hydroacids, acidic strength will increase. Acidic strength increases. Acidic strength increases. Suppose when I take NH3 NH3, H2O, NH3, H2O, HF. Which will be more acidic in nature? HF will be more acidic in nature than H2O than NH3. On what basis I will say this is HF. This is O, H and H. This is N, H, H, H. Now, this fluorine is more electronegative. So this will start attracting electron towards itself. When it start attracting electron towards itself, this bond will become weak. This bond will become weak. If this bond is becoming weak, this H plus will be given easily. This H plus will be given easily. So that is why HF will be more acidic nature. Why? Because if electronegativity is more, the bond will become weak. Why? Because this will start pulling electrons. Understand, children? In a period,
Yes.
acidic strength will increase. I'll write one set of hydroacids. Can you say the order? CH3, H2S, HCl. Can you say which is least acidic in this? Why no one is answering today? pH3 will be least acidic. Because I have given a statement here. See, when you're moving, this all belongs to same period. Phosphorus, sulfur, and chlorine belongs to same period. This belongs to same period. Now, it will increase when we move from left to right, or else you can also remember as electronegativity increases, as En increases, hydroacid strength will increase. Hydroacid acidic strength increases. Now we'll see in group. This is little contradiction, but I'll explain. Nothing contradiction, but hydracids, acidic nature or acidic strength increases in a group. In both the condition it will increase. In a period it will increase, in group also it will increase. Why? Now let me take HF, HCl, HBr, HI. See, why I have written like this is not to show something diagrammatic. See, here the atomic size is more of iodine and hydrogen. So the bond length will be more. This is called as bond length. We'll study about bond length in detail in this next chapter. See, here the bond length is less. Here bond length is even less. Here bond length is less. Now if bond length is less, bond strength will be less. Bond length is more, bond strength will be less. Bond strength is less. If bond strength is less, this hydrogen, we can break this bond easily. So hydrogen can be easily given. Hydrogen can be easily given. Why hydrogen can be easily given? Because the bond strength is less. Here also I have explained in which one? Here also I have explained based on bond strength only. Here bond strength will be weak. Why bond strength is weak? Because fluorine is more electronegative. It will start pulling electron towards itself. Bond strength will become weak. So hydrogen can be given easily. Same reason here also. Here bond length will be more compared to this. If bond length is more, bond length will be less compared to this. In HBr, bond length is less compared to HI. So this have high bond strength compared to this. So hydrogen cannot be given as easily as HI is giving. That is why its acidic strength will be less compared to HI. This acidic strength is less compared to HBr. This acidic strength is less compared to HCl. Understood? Any doubts?
Yes, sir.
So this is what a little is oxides, when you take about oxides, acidic strength increases. In period, in a group, acidic strength decreases. But in hydracids, in period and group, both acidic strength will increase. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Right. I'll give 2 examples, answer that so that I can start the next one. Which is more acidic in this both? Which is more acidic?
H2, sir.
Correct. This is in a group. This is in a group. In a group, acidic strength will increase for hydracids. This is more acidic than this. Suppose if I write HBr and HF, which is more acidic? HBr or HF?
HBr.
HBr is more acidic. Clear, children? Any doubts what I have said today? If you are answering, then I can proceed. If you are not answering, whether I cannot understand whether it's a network issues or you are not answering or not. Am I audible?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
No doubt, sir.
No doubts. Thank you. Okay. See, with this part, we have completed about second, third chapter, periodic classification. Do you have any doubts in this chapter now?
No, sir.
Okay.
No, sir.
So shall I start? Shall we start new chapter?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
New chapter we are proceeding, which is called as chemical bonding. Which is called as chemical bonding. This is very important chapter. Chemical bonding. Entire inorganic chemistry is based on this chapter. Chemical bonding. Entire inorganic chemistry is based on this. We'll see what is meant by chemical bonding. Now, we know there are different elements in nature. We have almost 118 elements in nature. All these elements, it is all elements, only few elements, only few elements exist, only few elements exist in elemental form. Elemental form. Now to understand this, what I will say is, suppose let us take about valency. What is valency of nitrogen, children? Valency of nitrogen. What is meant by valency? Combining capacity. Yes. Nitrogen valency is 3. Why? Because it can combine with 3 hydrogen and it forms NH3. Right. So here, nitrogen is combining with other elements. So what I say is, nitrogen will not be present as one nitrogen. It will combine with another nitrogen like N2, or else it can combine with another element like hydrogen and it can form NH3. So that is what the meaning. Only few elements exist in elemental form. Elemental form means they will not combine. Which elements not combine? Like helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon. These elements will not combine. If you take its valency, they will not combine. They will be present independently. So only few elements exist in elemental form. So what will happen to rest of the elements? Most of the elements exist in combined form. Elements combines with each other. Also, right, most elements combine with same element with same element or different element or different element, same element or different elements to form compounds, to form molecules, to form molecules. I explain this. See, one nitrogen in nature will never exist. It is not stable. So it will combine with another nitrogen and exist as N2 molecule, or else one nitrogen combine with three hydrogens and exist as NH3. So do you understand these 2 points?
Yes.
Yes or no? Okay. Now, if these atoms of different elements are combining, atoms of in NH3, nitrogen atom is combining with hydrogen atoms. When atoms of different elements are combining, which will hold these atoms together? When atoms of different elements combine, when atoms of different elements combine, different elements combine, which will hold these elements? Which will hold these elements together? I cannot simply write elements together. I cannot simply write NH3. If I write NH3 like this, will NH3, one atom of hydrogen, one atom of hydrogen, one atom of hydrogen, which will hold these 4 atoms together? So there will be some attraction force. There will be some attraction force. Attraction force. This attraction force is nothing but a bond. This attraction force is nothing but a bond. See, what is meant by bond? Bond means nothing but force of attraction. Bond is nothing but force of attraction. Understood what's meant by bond?
Yes, sir.
It is a force of attraction. Suppose we all say we are closely, I am bonded with my family. Bonded with family means, will you be tied with your parents with some ropes or chains? It's not like that, right? So there will be some attraction between your parents and you. Some says they are my close friends. When they are close friends, we are attracted each other, those two friends. So what is my chemical bond? I'm going to give a statement. A chemical bond is defined as a chemical bond is defined as a chemical bond is defined as the force of attraction as the force of attraction. A chemical bond is defined as force of attraction which holds the atoms together in a molecule. A molecule is called as chemical bond. Chemical bond. Understood the statement what I have written for chemical bond, children? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, my question is, why do atoms combine? So I have said atoms are combining. Atoms are combining. Atoms are combining. And there is some force of attraction. I'll write FOA as force of attraction. You don't write FOA in exams, children, not acceptable. Simply I'm writing force of attraction. This force of attraction between different atoms, between different atoms will hold the molecules, will hold atoms in molecules. Atoms in molecules. That force of attraction is called as chemical bond. Right. Now my point is, then why do atoms should combine? Why do atoms should combine? This is the
Sir.
first point. Yes.
Can
Anand,
you explain one more time?
which one? This
I
part.
can.
I couldn't understand you. Hello.
Sir, from a
Can you
chemical
speak?
bond.
Chemical
Sir.
bonding. Yes.
Can you please show the last slide, sir?
Last slide.
Yes, sir.
What happened? Network issues, huh?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Did you take down this one?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Can I go back?
Yes, sir.
No, what I am saying is, in general, elements, elements not occur will not occur in free state, in elemental form. What is this elemental form? I'll explain. Elemental form. Suppose, in general, elements will not occur in elemental form. They will combine with same element or different element to form molecules. Same element or different elements to form molecules. Am I audible now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now, see what do I mean by this statement? Now, suppose let you take nitrogen or oxygen. Do you think one nitrogen will exist in nature like this, or one oxygen will exist in nature, or else I write some chlorine like this? Do you feel one chlorine will exist in nature? No, it will not exist. So it combine with same element, like it can combine with nitrogen plus nitrogen, and it can present as is a molecule of nitrogen. Suppose when you take oxygen combine with another oxygen and will present as O2. Or else this nitrogen can combine with 3 hydrogens and form NH3. This oxygen can combine with 2 hydrogens and forms H2O. Here chlorine can combine with another chlorine and exist as Cl2. Or this chlorine can combine with hydrogen and can exist as HCl. Now the point is, what I am saying is, in general, elements will not occur in elemental form. So elemental form means they will not present like this. They will combine with same element or different element, and it is going to form molecule, water molecule, the same element like N2, nitrogen molecule, oxygen molecule, or chlorine molecule. Now, if you see about very few elements, like helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon, they will exist in elemental form. They will not combine. They will not combine. This can be present in elemental form. Rest of them will not be present in elemental form. They are going to combine and they are going to form molecules. Now, my point is, if they are combining, how this H and Cl are present together? So this hydrogen and chlorine are not separate now. They are one molecule. They are combined now. Now, how they can combine is, there will be some force of attraction. There will be some force of attraction which holds these atoms. 'Force of attraction'. force of attraction which holds both the atoms in a molecule. Both the atoms in a molecule. In a molecule is called chemical bond. Is called chemical bond. Understood what I am saying now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
What is meant by chemical bond? What's meant by chemical bond? It is nothing but a force of. It is nothing but this force of attraction. So this force of attraction will hold these atoms in a molecule. Like if we take about HCl, this HCl is, there will be some force of attraction. Because of that force of attraction, hydrogen and fluorine are together. There is some force of attraction between hydrogen and oxygen. Because of that force of attraction, these hydrogen and oxygen are together. There is some force of attraction between hydrogen and hydrogen. Because of that force of attraction, nitrogen and hydrogen are together. That force of attraction is called as chemical bond. Bond means nothing but force of attraction. Bond is nothing but force of attraction. Understood now?
Yes, sir.
Now, the second question what we can arise from here is, why do atoms should combine? Why atoms should combine in a molecule? Why atoms should combine in a molecule? Because see, every system, the second question what I'm raising is, why do atoms combine? The next question is, why do atoms combine? Here, to attain stability. To attain stability. Now here, I'll try to give a logic. Stability and energy are inversely proportional. Remember this statement. Stability and energy are inversely proportional. If energy is more, stability is less. If stability is more, energy will be less. So atoms have more amount of energy. Suppose if these atoms are combining to form molecules, atoms are combining to form molecules. They form bonds. Bond is nothing but again force of attraction. It is nothing but force of attraction. So atoms are combining to form molecules. How they are combining? By they form bonds. Now whenever bonds are formed, they release some energy. They release energy. That means what is happening? Energy is released. If energy is released, what will happen to energy? Energy will become less. See, if energy is becoming less, stability will be more. That is why they will combine to lose their energy and get stability. Do you understand this point?
Yes, sir.
Clear? So why do atoms combine to form bonds? Because whenever bonds are formed, energy is released. If energy is released, energy will become less and stability will increase. Now we'll discuss about different types of bonds. Can I take new page?
So wait a minute, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Completed, sir.
Okay. Now when we see about there are different types of chemical bonds. Types of chemical bonds. First one is called as ionic bond. First one is called as ionic bond. This is also called as electrovalent bond. Electrovalent bond. Next one is called as covalent bond. Next one is called as covalent bond. Next one is called as ionic bond, covalent bond. Next one is called as coordinate covalent bond. Coordinate covalent bond. Next one is called as metallic bond. Metallic bond. Next one is called as hydrogen bond. Next one is called as hydrogen bonds. We are going to study independently about each type of bonds. Clear, children?
Yes.
Sir.
Yes. These are different types of bond. What is meant by bond? What is meant by bond? Bond is nothing but force of attraction. So we'll see how ionic bond is formed, how covalent bond is formed, how coordinate covalent bond is formed, what is meant by metallic bond, how hydrogen bond is formed. We are going to study in detail about it. So I'll start with first with ionic bond or electrovalent bond. Can I take new page?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Thank you. First one is called as ionic bond. See, when we see about this ionic bond, I have given some application. One is called as based on Pauling scale. Based on Pauling scale, we can predict. Pauling scale is used to measure electronegativity. Predict whether a molecule is ionic or covalent. Molecule is ionic or covalent. I have given a data. Suppose if electronegativity difference is less than 1.7, if electronegativity less than is 1.7, now it will be covalent bond. I'll give you an example for that. If you take about HCl, now here electronegativity of hydrogen is 2.1, electronegativity of chlorine will be 3.0. When you subtract, you'll get how much? You'll get 0.9. That is less than 1.7. Don't take the minus charge here, just the value. It will be 0.9. This 0.9 is less than 1.7. That is why the nature of bond between H and Cl will be covalent. Next, if electronegativity difference is more than 1.7, it is more than 1.7, the bond formed will be ionic in nature. Suppose take example as NaCl. I have given these values also. I have said how to remember those values also. Sodium will be 0.9, electronegativity is 0.9. Chlorine will be 3.0. Difference will be, what is the difference? Difference will be 2.1. Electronic difference is, I'm going to subtract this with this. The difference is 2.1. When the difference is 2.1, this is more than 1.7. If it is more than 1.7, the nature of bond will be ionic in nature. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Anyone have doubt? Now, generally, this is the rule. We can also say when two elements are combining, they can form ionic bond.
Sir, video is hanging, sir.
Am I audible?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
I am facing some network issues. Okay. Look here, ma. From the data, from a difference in, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Now,
You say from in after NaCl, sir, it was not audible from that itself, sir.
okay, ma. Okay. Today I am facing some network issues. I don't know why. See, NaCl. The electronegativity of Na is 0.9. Next one is the electronegativity of chlorine is 3.0. When you take the difference between NaCl and Cl and Na, if electronegativity is 2.1, it is 2.1. It is more than 1.7. It is more than 1.7. As it is more than 1.7, I'll say the bond found will be ionic in nature. Based on electronegativity, we can say. Now here, I'll try to give few examples. When do ionic bond will form? When ionic bond will form, and when covalent bond will be formed. I'll try to play some example, then you will understand. Clear? Can I proceed? Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. Now, if there are two atoms, one is having two atoms are there. One is having low electronegativity. And the other atom is having high electronegativity. One is having low electronegativity, other atom is having high electronegativity. Then ionic bond will be formed. Which bond will be formed? Ionic bond. On what reason you will say, sir? If if it is having low, suppose there is an atom A and there is an atom B, this electronegativity is low, this electronegativity is high, then difference will be definitely high. If the difference is high, definitely it will be ionic in nature. I'll give example, same example I'll give. NaCl. The difference in electron. Now we know first group and second group, electronegativity will be very less. Now, which are the elements which have high electronegativity? 17th group elements will be having high electronegativity. If a bond is formed between first group or second group with 17th group elements, definitely it will be ionic in nature. Why? Because electronegativity difference will be more. So this you should remember. If a bond is formed between two elements, when one electronegativity is less, other than electronegativity is high, then ionic bond will be formed. Clear? Suppose
Yes, sir.
when we take about a
Yes, sir.
molecule with high electronegativity plus high electronegativity, then covalent bond will be formed. Then covalent bond is formed. The example what I'll take is Cl. The example what I can take is Cl. Now can you say me what is the electronegativity of chlorine? 3.0, right? This is 3.0. This also will be 3.0. Difference will be very, very less. Difference is less, almost zero. So it is going to form which type of bond? Covalent bond. So this both try to remember, children. If electronegativity is low, one ionic bond will be formed. If both the atom electronegativity is high, covalent bond will be formed. And here, if both atoms electronegativity is low electronegativity is combined with another low electronegativity, it can form metallic bond. It results in formation of metallic bond. Example what I can give is sodium. So sodium is having very less electronegativity. We know first group elements will have very less electronegativity. In a period, electronegativity will increase. So sodium will have very less electronegativity. When it combines with another sodium, two sodiums are combining, which both have low electronegativity. Then in this type of combination, we will have which type of bond? Metallic bond. Any doubt? These three, just remember, so that you can predict which type of bonding is there. Any doubts, Ma?
No, sir.
No. Okay. So today I'm going to wind up session here. Still I'm facing these network issues. We'll meet tomorrow. Anyone have doubt in this topic? You can ask.
No doubt.
No doubt, Ma. Thank you. We'll meet tomorrow with continuation part of this. Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome, Ma. Welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Welcome, Ma.